Just what makes that silly old ant think he can lift a rubber tree plant? Everyone knows an ant can't lift a rubber tree plant because he got high hopes. He got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky. Hope so when you're the Phillies are World Series bound, baby. Phillies are World Series bound. I did the overused term in our industry, the emergency show last night after the Phillies won, and I'm still beaming. I woke up this morning beaming, and here I am on this very microphone in front of you, beaming as the 87 win Philadelphia Phillies are World Series bound in 5 games, beating the San Diego Padres. Bryce Harper has already immortalized himself as a forever beloved Philadelphia Philly. And I don't care if he's like in what, year 4 now, year 4 of a contract of 13 years. Give him more years, because I don't know about you. I don't want to live in a world where Bryce Harper is not a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't want to live in that world. So let's give him the Bobby Clark, Ed Snyder agreement of a lifetime flyer, lifetime contract, whatever. He's forever a Philly. And if they win the World Series, I don't know what you would do at that point after that. He owns the franchise. John Middleton and the Buck Cousins just say, you know what, it's yours. Just, maybe we'll run the business aspect of it, but it's ours in our name only. But you're really the king of the crop here. I am amazed in everything that the Phillies have done over the last 2.5 weeks, and I think about when they were down in the 9th inning against the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 1 of this postseason run, and to think about where they were then and where they are now, I can't believe it. Nobody looked at this Phillies team and said, World Series. Maybe when the season started, or right before the season started, you looked at the roster. When they gel, it's going to be great. I mean, I even had them before Joe Girardi was fired. I said, they're going to fire Joe Girardi, they're going to have a run, and they're going to make the playoffs. They just barely made the playoffs. I made the point over the weekend. September 30th, they were only a half game in the wild card standings. They only had a half game lead on the Milwaukee Brewers for the third and final wild card spot in the National League. And now they're in the World Series. That's insane to think about. But nobody, as the season was going on, was saying World Series. This team's going to go to the World Series. It's one of those things that if you would have called a radio station, let's just say, with that point of view, what are you? I just like a blind. You would have been basically termed a blind loyalist, Disney-colored glasses, whatever you might be saying. You would have been termed a crazy person that they're going to make it to the World Series. They just won, baby. That's it. How'd they do it? They just won. That's it. Well, they weren't as good as like a team like the Braves. So what? They weren't as good as a team like the Cardinals. Oh, that's fine. And now they're going to go up against the Houston Astros. Another challenge in front of them. The Astros are the favorite in this series. But I heard Tim Kirchin on SportsCenter last night with SVP. Like Tim Kirchin said this. The man's been around baseball forever. All right. When he says the Houston Astros are the favorite, and he's right, when they're the favored team to win the series, to win another World Series, this time legitimately, but there's something magical happening in Philadelphia. I'm just going to take a sip from my Red October cup. Delicious. When Tim Kirchin himself says there's something magical happening in Philadelphia, you know that it's not just a whim. I mean, he's been around magical baseball teams. I mean, the 2004 Red Sox team was a magical team. The Red Sox and other teams that were the magical teams. There's been other magical. I mean, you look at the Cardinals back in the day with Chris Carpenter and what he was able to do against this Phillies team, and then help the Cardinals go on and win the World Series. The year the Phillies were the best team in baseball, 102 wins. This, in a way, feels like retribution for that. It feels like, they should have won the World Series that year with the incredible pitching staff that they had. But no, they got bounced out early. First round of the playoffs. Thanks, but no thanks. And then this time around, the Phillies, 87 wins. The Phillies don't make the playoffs without the rule changes this year. Do people realize that? The Phillies don't make the playoffs without the expanded playoffs. First time they have the expanded playoffs solidified. And without the DH in the National League. Bryce Harper is not playing this year without the DH in the National League. If he couldn't play right field, he wasn't playing. And here he is with DH, thank goodness, playing. And playing before his injury like an MVP. Now he comes back a month before the season lets out, a little bit more. He comes back, and he's your National League playoff MVP. I can't believe it. And you're looking at the numbers from Bryce Harper, just to go by the numbers for a second here. First off, he's got a 10-game hitting streak. The only game he didn't hit in was the first game against the Cardinals there. 10-game hitting streak, 419 batting average, 444 on-base percentage. Good God. 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. 11 RBIs in 11 games. I would say that's pretty good. And I would say that's what you paid for when you signed the big man to a big contract. And last night, there was 2 things that happened in last night's ballgame, the clincher, that it's still rattling around in my brain. 2 outs, Kyle Schwarber steals second. They call him out. They're like, nope, not so fast. He was actually safe. I like the umpire actually going over to Kyle Schwarber after that call, and he's just like, I think I missed that one. Schwarber's like, it's cool. It's cool, man. Rhys Hoskins then at the plate, gone to left field. His third 2-run home run of the series, not too bad. And then, so Schwarber stealing second and being called out, but then actually safe. And then Hoskins hit the home run. You're up 2-0. Later in the ballgame, Bryce Harper steps to the plate after JT Realmuto gets on base to extend the inning. Harper deposits a 99-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside portion of the plate in the left field stands. He goes with the pitch to go oppo boppo to give the Phillies a 4-3 lead. David Robertson comes in. I mean, Sir Anthony Dominguez struggled. It was raining, whatever. It looked wild pitches. They happened, unfortunately. I'll say this. I love JT Realmuto. I feel like I've always been real with Realmuto. Early in the season, I called him out for his struggles, and he certainly did. I said that he needs to turn it around for the Phillies to actually get back to the postseason, and he did that, and look what happened. But on a rainy day where a pitch is coming in the dirt, how are you reaching for it? Slide the body! That's enough. All right, so the wild pitches happen. They score the run. Bedlam, if you will. And then Harper gets the home run to put him in front. David Robertson comes in. Then Then Ranger Suarez comes in to handle the business. What was Grisham doing? Grisham doing bunting? There's 2 things that people are calling the Padres out for. One is not bringing in Hader in the 8th inning to face Bryce Harper. I thought that was a bit of a reach. I wouldn't have brought in Hader in that situation. I know a lot of people are jumping to that conclusion. I think that, yes, you could have done that, but I think that's a little bit of a reach. The thing that I think is unquestioned is Grisham's sack bunt with 1 out in that inning. Surrendering an out to a guy coming out of the ball. First off, it's just stupid. Bottom line, regardless of who you're facing, stupid. But you're surrendering the out to a guy who is pitching out of the bullpen for the first time in over, a year and a half? Year and 4 months? That's ridiculous. Anyway, I'll take it. And then Ranger Suarez, of course, gets the final out, and you're moving on to the World Series. I don't believe I'm saying these words. That the Phillies are going to the World Series. Harper sets a record basically for hits in the postseason with the Phils, extra base hits for the postseason for the Phils, a poop ton of records basically. And also his home runs are unparalleled. Now it's just got to keep it going in the World Series, of course. And they're going to face one hell of a rotation there in a World Series that starts on Friday. But yeah, in that inning, the Phillies are down 3-2 with Harper stepping to the plate, 2-2 pitch, outside corner of the plate. from Robert Suarez, the lesser of the Suarezes, at a 99 mile per hour fastball. Of all the things I have thought about from last night to now, it makes me think about the 2017 Super Bowl run with the Eagles. Only everybody there was getting injured. It feels like the Phillies have finally gelled and hit their stride at the perfect time. That's honestly what it feels like. And even though and I've highlighted it many times over the last month, they really struggled in September again, they still managed to keep their playoff position and make it into the postseason. But this feels like a team that has done a lot of underachieving throughout the year. They had the managerial change, 7 games under 500, and they finished with 16 games over 500, 17 games over 500 with Rob Thompson. And they got to a point where they just kind of figured it out. And you could always say in every sport, you can talk about how teams just got hot at the right time. I think it's a different thing with this Phillies baseball team. It wasn't like they got hot at the right time. They certainly did, but it went more so along the lines of guys like Schwarber, Castellanos, and Harper, and then guys coming out of the bullpen after the trade deadline. Guys like David Robertson, for instance, Brandon Marsh coming in to basically hitting your 300 for this team after being a 230 hitter for the Angels. It was like all these different guys came together and they finally all figured it out at the same time. Is it Bryson Stott coming in here being a young guy? Philly showing a lot of confidence in him by moving on from Didi Gregorius. There are a lot of different things on this team. Gene Segura being hurt, then coming back, another thing. Again, all these guys playing together as well. I know baseball is a very individual sport, but man, it can also be the perfect team sport where a lot of times you won't have success unless I have success. I know it's more blatant in a sport like football where if the offensive line doesn't block, you're not completing that pass, something like that. Or the offensive line doesn't block, your running back's not getting that 15-yard gain, whatever it might be. But in baseball, it's so individualized that sometimes we just forget how much of a team sport it can be. And if that clubhouse isn't meshing, then you have guys at the plate that start to press. I mean, it really can start to bleed into other things. And that's why I have made the argument over the last couple of months of Rob Thompson being the manager of the Phils, that a manager isn't just responsible for those 5 or 7 wins or losses as the season goes on. They can be responsible for that whole big picture. The atmosphere, the attitude in that clubhouse comes down to the manager. And I was listening to guys like Ricky Bowe and Ben Davis and Ruben Amaro and my man Michael Barkan talking about it on postgame as well, that sometimes you just come in here and you got to change a whole culture and attitude. And when you give a team back to the players, that changes the culture and the attitude. It lets them know that they're being managed as men and not as kids, basically. I mean, you could see where that would be a huge problem for a lot of these guys that are professionals getting paid top dollar, where they might feel like they're being overmanaged, or they might feel like they're being micromanaged, whatever you want to call it. But Rob Thompson just coming, you're all adults here, you just handle your business. Like when you have to take ownership for it like that, I think a lot of people that accountability, I think, goes a long way for a lot of people. When it's teammates holding you accountable, I think sometimes it has a different message and a different meaning as opposed to a manager trying to hold you accountable. And whatever Rob Thompson did, because I didn't ever look at Joe Girardi as if he was like some stickler. You know what I mean? I got a feeling that maybe his personality was a little too big for a room full of personalities, and Rob Thompson kind of had to be the favorite uncle in the background and not so much the strict father. And whatever he did, whatever buttons he pushed, they were the right ones. And then get away from the chemistry things that a lot of people, myself included, go to almost immediately. You look at Game 3 of this series, the way they were just unloading pitchers in this series, in that particular game. Rob Thompson, I'm going to text you with my friends, and I'm like, he doesn't give a damn about tomorrow. Like, he is managing right now to win right now. There is no tomorrow with Rob Thompson. And then I see, basically, that was the theme after the game. No tomorrow. I saw even Jim Salisbury put out there on NBC Sports Philly as well. So Jim Salisbury just put up bleep tomorrow. Rob Thompson's managing and winning today. And that's how it was. He unloaded. And if you look at things that they fell apart in this series, that's the number one thing people would go to. How do you pull Suarez after, 68 pitches? Cruising? You get to your bullpen that early? Turned out not to matter. I can't believe I'm sitting here talking about the Phillies going into the World Series. But damn, it feels good to talk about it. I will get you guys some fine clips from after the game last night. I was in Center City last night. If you caught the emergency program, I was going to a movie premiere right in Center City, right at Broad and Chestnut. What is it? The Prince Theater? I forget what it's called. It's not the Prince, whatever the heck it is. A friend of mine that I've known for about 15 years, I actually know him through Glenn Macnow. Brandon Kamen, I'll say his name, is now a writer, director, producer. And he started at, he was never, I don't think, officially an intern at WIP, but he'd come in with Glenn and Ray on Saturdays and get coffee, and he got me a breakfast sandwich, whatever. We became friends. I was young. I was like 24 at the time, started to get to know him, 25, and he was like going into college. And we became friends, and he's had this amazing career, and one of it is making movies. And he texted me, hey, my movie, Rittenhouse Square, starring Nick Nolte, is premiering at Broad and Chestnut on October 23rd. You got to be there. I was like, dude, I'm so happy. I was actually in his previous movie, Nomads. My voice was in the movie. I played a radio commentator. Stretch, right? But anyway, so he goes, it's the Eagles bye week, so what's going to be going on? I go, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Absolutely, I'll be there. So the Phillies start to win. Phillies start to do well. This is like maybe a month ago. He texted me. It's the Eagles bye week. What could be going on? No, you're right. So sure enough, I'm watching the game last night. I'm thinking, I'm going to go to this premiere, and I'm not even going to be able to get into it because it's going to be mobbed in Center City. And I had gotten there just as my wife and I show up at the theater, just as people as soon as the Phillies won the World Series, or excuse me, get ahead of myself. As soon as Phillies won the National League, foreshadowing, we jumped in an Uber and we went into Center City. And I took this video. I walked up the 20 feet from the theater to Broad Street and took this video of people in the crowd. That right there was just the beginning. When we came out, it started to get cleared out because it was about 2.5 hours later. And yeah, it started to clear out. Traffic was still bad, but I think they started moving people out of Center City. But that to me is why we're all in this. And Bryce Harper talked about it after last night's game, and we'll get to that in a second. But when you think about it, it's stadiums full of people. 70,000 at the Link, 45,000 at Citizens Bank Park, 20,000 at Wells Fargo Center. It's stadiums full of people rooting for other people's success. Like, that's what it is, right? So why are they packed with people? Well, obviously it's fun. Let's get that out of the way. But on top of it, it's all a common goal because we're rooting for these teams and these players that are representing us. We're rooting for them to represent us well. Philadelphia Phillies is a sense of pride. I remember when the Phillies won in 2008, which if you watch this show, you know that's the first championship I ever got to experience. And a lot of you, the same thing. I'll never forget traveling that October and early November for Sunday Night Football and wearing my Phillies 2008 World Champion. And people say, oh, wow, heck of a run. Oh, Cole Hamels was on fire. Stuff like that. Like, it's like your stamp of approval throughout the rest of the world. Not that we need it, but damn, it's nice to have. It is a sense of pride that we got to celebrate something like that. Same thing in 2017. I'll never forget coming back from the Super Bowl and just wearing like an Eagles, long sleeve shirt, right? And I remember the person at the information desk at Philly International just saw me, hey, go Birds. And I'm like, amazing. And then being the parades in 2008, in 2017, that's why we're all in it. That's why we ride and die with this team, with all our teams, because that party that's provided to the city, man, you tell me you can't use that on the regular. I don't know, man. There's something special about that. I mean, I grew up with stories about 80 and the 70s Flyers and the Sixers in 83. And, it's amazing. The whole city celebrated. And you're like, wow, that sounds so cool. But then to experience it, it's amazing. There are certain things that people tell you about, and they use the right words to communicate to you how incredible it is, how amazing it is. It's wild. And then to actually see it and experience it for yourself, it's like everything that everyone ever told you was all 100% undersold. They could not have described it better. And here the Phillies are 4 wins away now from providing us another party. But even last night, man, that was one hell of an appetizer for people to be out there on Broad Street trying to conquer the greased poles. It's such an amazing feeling. It is such an amazing feeling. All right, let me tell you about man Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row. For over 40 years, Steven's been in the love business in Philadelphia, taking care of people and making sure they get the perfect price every day. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. One place, one price, the perfect price each and every day. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. I wanted to make sure I got to these. And here is Bryce Harper on the field to Fox Sports 1 when he was asked about the fans of Philadelphia. For a lot of people, let me just preface this by saying some people will just call out pandering. And I say, hell yeah, pander to me with all the pandering you got. Bryce Harper, a very emotional Bryce Harper, talking to Fox Sports 1 about the fan base.
What do you have to say to these fans right now as they are absolutely deafening at this point in time?
Thank you. That's it. Just thank you. Thank you for opening your arms to me as a player, as a person. Thank
you. Well, first off, Bryce, thank you. And second, you're welcome. I remember when Roy Halladay came to Philadelphia, a lot of us do, okay? And Cy Young Award winner, best pitcher in baseball, and he comes here and he wins another Cy Young. Like, that is, like, oftentimes you'll sign the big guy or you'll trade for the big guy or the big name. Oftentimes that'll happen, and then they never get back to the status in which you acquired them. Roy Halladay did that. Bryce Harper winning an MVP trophy did that. Bryce Harper getting this team to a World Series absolutely does that. And they're not done yet. And I remember thinking with Rob Thompson, let's see, you needed what, 4 wins, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, right? To get to where you are. And I remember when he said it after they clinched a playoff spot in Houston, of all places. He talked about the number of wins they needed to make it to a World Series, to win a World Series. And I'm thinking to myself, that's cute. Like, good for him. Keep the good vibes going. What else is he going to say, right? And the manager of this ball club, he wants them to keep on going. And now here they are, 4 wins away from a World Series. I still can't believe they got past the Braves, and I can't believe they got past the Braves with such ease. And now this is going to be another tough task for them. Did they have some luck fall into place here? I already mentioned, we were talking about luck. How about 2 new rule changes this year that if they don't happen, you don't have Bryce Harper and you're certainly not making the playoffs? Yeah, it's a lot of luck that goes into that. But also lucky to draw the Cardinals, which was the easiest for them. I think the first round, the easiest thing for them. Then they you can't even call it luck against the Braves because they own the Braves. And now they handle the Padres. That's the team they got to beat, an 89-win team. They don't have to go through like another Mets team or another 100-win team or anything like that. No, they don't have to face the team that owned them throughout the season, the New York Mets. They don't have to face them in the playoffs, and they make it into the World Series. Still can't believe I'm saying it. I mentioned pandering. Bryce Harper went even further with his comments towards the fans. Here he is with his NLCS MVP trophy as he sits at the table there in the bowels of CBP, talking about what this fan base means to him.
They just want you to work hard. They want you to play hard. They want you to be, who you are. No excuses. They don't care if you're hurt or if you're not feeling good or if you didn't sleep the night before or, they don't care because they pay their hard-earned dollar to get to the ballpark every day for us. And they're doing it right now, for us during the playoffs. And they just want you to work hard. They don't care. They just want you to grind for them. They want you to go out there and play the best baseball you can no matter what. And I loved walking in as an opposing player knowing that I was going to get absolutely blasted by these fans. And it was what it was, and I loved it. And it made me want to come here and play because I knew how much they cared. I knew how much they love their players and how much passion, how much drive they all have, and everybody talks about, the blue-collarness of this city and the fight that they have, and it just rubs off on all of us. I've said it multiple times. We have 46,000 people in the stadium. It's 46,026 because we're all in this together no matter what, where they're at, who they are, where they come from. If you got Phillies across your chest and you're a fan, you're part of our team, you're part of our organization, and you fight with us each day.
Oh, man, Bryce, pander to me all you want. I don't give a damn because you know what? It's not pandering if you believe it. Huh? Listening to guys from the 08 team talk about the fan base in 08. Listen to them talk about even in 07 when they just made the playoffs. And then listening to guys right now talk about the influence of the fans. And let's be honest, the fans weren't coming out in droves during the regular season, unfortunately. It's not exactly easy times economically for a lot of people, all right? So I don't fault the fans for that, but that doesn't mean they weren't paying attention. That doesn't mean that they weren't still at home rooting for this team. And, man, you change things up a little bit here. You make it into the postseason. And certainly it all of a sudden becomes a huge experience for everyone just to be at that ballpark. You're not just facing the 25-man roster. You're not just facing the guys on the field. You're taking on, as an opposing player, an entire city. I know I've said it before. I believe it. And when I hear Bryce Harper talk about it in two different occasions last night, I absolutely 1,000% believe it. And I think this is something that a lot of other cities and a lot of other teams don't get to experience. A fan base that supports them in this way. It's not, hey, Philadelphia's not the only crazy fan base, passionate fan base, certainly not. But man, when you're coming into this stadium, you know that you're not just going to be taking on the guys in the jerseys on the field. You're going to be taking in, Joe Schmo in the stands, who's also wearing a jersey, wearing the Red October shirt, drinking from their Red October hot mug. Ice water tastes so good in that mug. But anyway, you're going to be taking on a whole city. And Bryce Harper knows that as well. And man, they use that to their advantage. No doubt about that. Let me tell you right now about the great people of Manscaped. Ladies and gentlemen, go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Farzy to get 20% off your order at manscaped.com and free shipping, including their amazing Platinum Package 4.0 that includes their ear and nose hair trimmer. That's the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. And it comes with skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks so you can manscape with confidence and comfort with their amazing Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. So make sure you enjoy the skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Farzy. Freestone Farm CBD, FreestoneFarmCBD.com. If you enjoy CBD, if you want to try a different brand of CBD, try Freestone Farm CBD at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. Get 20% off when you use promo code Farzy. You'll enjoy their tropical tasting Bayox that clocks in at a chart-topping 24.1%. And Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. Generics of these guys are off the charts. So enjoy. Freestone Farm CBD is perfect after a workout. It's perfect for when you're winding down your day. How about the amazing people at Mojo? Mojo.com. You play fantasy sports? Well, every player basically is a stock, right? Rise and fall in value. Well, Mojo said, heck with that whole team attitude. Every player you own has a stock price. Every player you have together has a stock price. You could buy low, you could sell high. I was talking earlier about Najee Harris. Had another solid game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers coming up next on the Eagles schedule where they return from their bye. Buy low, sell high. Najee Harris right now. Miles Sanders, probably now is a good time to buy. You could sell high a little bit later. They have over 300 skilled players on their list, from tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks. Each player has a share price. You buy low, you sell high to make that money. And all their share prices are updated in real time. And there's never an off season at Mojo Sports. Go to mojo.com for more information. Download the Mojo app to your phone right now and see all they have to offer. Available on iOS in New Jersey. Must be 21 or older and present in New Jersey to trade on Mojo. Go to mojo.com for more information. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. How about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's phlsportstation.com. Before I get to the chat check, it's a World Series appearance celebration, folks. What would it be without a little champagne, a little Budweiser flowing in the Phillies clubhouse? Here's Rob Thompson addressing the team after their World Series appearance clinching victory over San Diego Padres.
All right, just taking down 3 really good clubs. We got 1 more to go. All right, but for now, I just want to congratulate everybody, all you players, all staff, this entire organization on being National League champion.
Our man Garrett Stubbs at the end of that looking like a little kid. And now you saw at the top there, we got 4 more, Topper. That's a reference to the 13 they had to win a World Series. And that's what Topper said that I alluded to earlier. 13 wins is what they needed to get to a World Series championship. Hey, 13 more to go. We got 13 wins. And I remember thinking, hey, that's cute. And no. Now they're 4 wins. I did not think the number was going to get that high or get that low. Yet here we are. Let's see how you guys are feeling in the chat. I want to get the chat check going here. Wait, what happened? Mopar, what's up, Mopar? Farzy went live after the game. I didn't see it, so I sprayed champagne all over myself as punishment. That's a good punishment. I know waterboarding is not good, but what about champagne boarding? Huh? As a torture, as a punishment. Before I say anything else in the chat, I do want to just acknowledge this real quick. It smelled of the ganj on Broad Street. It was quite potent. I just figured I need to address that before we get into the chat. But anyway, Dan Schwartz, World Series, baby. You're damn right, Dan. Kevin, good morning. Nice to see you again. You were doing the show last night with me. I appreciate that. You were one of our fine commenters. Good morning, everyone. Happy with the World Series. We're ready to party. Absolutely. John Cheeseborough, World Series. Dan, I'm not saying that, but I'm happy you were excited. Mally, Mark better have no shirt on. Did I ever say I wasn't going to wear a shirt if they made it to the World Series? How about them Phillies, eh? Yeah. Now, by the way, PJ, producer Jim himself, was on Broad Street, and he took PJ, you walk from Fishtown, you say? God bless you. God bless you. Walk from Fishtown to Broad Street. That's a bit of a hike. How about them Phils? John, let's do it for Harry. Oh, absolutely. John Cheeseborough watched that homer so many times. April! April, in honor of your last name, let's Fukin go. Huh? How about that one? Dan Schwartz, subscriber only mode? Hell yeah. Only real fans can talk. I didn't even know we were doing that, but I'm fine with it. I want to make sure you guys all get in here. Mally, we need a statue of Harper in front of CBP. John Cheeseborough, can we finally put they don't have a lot of postseason experience to rest? Hell, the Cardinals had 52,026 years of postseason experience between Pujols and Molina alone. Smashed them. You know, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just win, baby. It doesn't make any sense. The Phillies in 2008. It didn't make any sense, but they won. The Phillies in 2007, just making the playoffs. Down 7 games, 17 left to go. They made the playoffs. They won the division. I mean, it's amazing. Braves were defending world champions. Smashed them. John, you're right. Oh, that's very kind of you, Mally. Honestly, how can you not subscribe to the Farzy show? God bless you. April definitely needs one of these. I'll try to wrestle one up for you. Smoltz did everything he could to hype up the Padres and their deeper bullpen. Smashed them. April, all the 100-win teams gone. I told you, they're the try-hard study nerds in college that bombed the final while the Phils just got hammered every week, every day, and showed up and aced it. Just amazing. Go Phillies. Good morning. Sean Gillespie. Good morning, buddy. I meant to add NL to that, but I'm an idiot. Okay. Mally wants me to send all subscribers cups. If I owned a bevy of these cups, I would do it. But I only own this cup because I paid $24 for my hot cider. Only because the hot cider came with bourbon. So, yeah. Here's what I've learned about myself with announcers. I like John Smoltz. I really do. I like Tony Romo. I really do. And the fact that I'm still not ready for John Smoltz to talk about the Phillies means I'll never be ready for Tony Romo to talk about the Eagles. It's just something I'll never get used to. Like when Tony Romo started out and he was like, oh, you know, Tony Romo's so great at broadcast. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then he would say stuff that was accurate, but still critical about the Eagles. And I'd right away go, shut your mouth. You shut your stupid mouth. Stupid mouth. And I'm like, but you know what? I'll probably come around eventually. I still haven't. And the fact that I can't listen to... And now John Smoltz was very complimentary at certain points to the Phillies, so I thought he was good. Rather listen to Smoltz than Romo. But there are certain things that he said that I was just like, shut your mouth. You're an Atlanta Brave. Shut up. And I'm just like, if I'm not used to John Smoltz as a commentator, I'll never get used to Tony Romo as a commentator. So that's how I feel about that. April, I don't want to listen to him anymore. Let's put J-Roll on the mic. Wow, Dan Schwartz, this is a statement. Harper gonna surprise Utley, surpass. Harper's gonna surpass Utley, Howard, and Rollins for all-time favorite Philly. Has he already? They got a World Series win, but he's been carrying this team like no other before. So Hamels, for his starts in the World Series, starts in the postseason run of 08, carried the team in those starts. Howard carried the team in the postseason of 09 and then unfortunately disappeared in the World Series. Utley hit, 5 home runs in that World Series alone? That's insane. Yeah, it's pretty bonkers to think about. I don't think he's surpassed them yet, but Dan Schwartz, he's knocking on the door. Mihai, what's up, Mihai Sanchez? Morning walk, everyone. Reese Demption. Reese Hoskins batted something like 119. Did I have it? 119 in the postseason, but had 5 home runs. That's not bad. That's not bad. Friday is so damn long. It's going to be a long week, kids. It's going to be a long week. Really what it's done is, and I hate comparing it to anything else because I want the Phillies to have their own separate entity, but it feels like the Eagles have played every day. Like that's what it feels like. And I because it had been 11 years, I forgot that's what postseason baseball is like. It's like you have a football game every day. That's what it's like. And I wouldn't trade for anything. Could you imagine if they played an entire NFL season in 1 week? Or at least half the NFL season in 1 week, week and a half, whatever. That's pretty wild. That's pretty crazy to think about. I guess like if you played the NFL season in a month, that'd be the real thing. But when you have a playoff baseball game every night, essentially, or every afternoon, every day, right? It is one hell of a roller coaster. The highs and lows you go through. And baseball is longer to play than football. So, man, you're going through that roller coaster even longer. Oh, it's a slow bleed. It's a very slow bleed. So there you go. Boop. Oh, Mopar, there's your champagne comment, my man. Mopar, true story. Very nice. John Cheeseman. Oh, I definitely believe you. That's great. Mopar, ask Alyssa, Jimmy G, and Natalie. I swear. I'm sorry, what? Mihai, we're getting a 2022 flag in Citizens Bank Park for the rest of time. Be a red flag, please. Welcome to my 5th and 6th grade life, fall of 08 and 09. Mihai, that's amazing. Dan Schwartz, not going to lie, when Alec Boehm said yesterday that he loves this place, I got a big fat Boehmer. I see what you did there. Boehm's comment was epic. Really was. Mihai, we were all right after that. The Phillies are ending their season versus the Houston Astros. Some of us thought we were missing the playoffs altogether and ending their season in Houston the start of October. Not the case. Not the case now. Oh, the Tatis talk. Immediate yesterday. Ooh. Sammy Kahn, Topper out coached Melvin. I'll say this. Even the questionable stuff with Topper, taking Suarez out, going to your bullpen that early, very questionable. Extremely questionable. But he said to hell with it. Win today. Fight again tomorrow. You got your horse on the mound with Zach Wheeler. Keep on going, man. Keep on going. If you look close at that video Farzy took, you can see me. I'm the mutant on the median. Wait, seriously, PJ? Was that seriously you? Get the hell out of here. I'm showing it again. Here we go. The mutant. Was that you? The tall guy? The 9'8" guy? PJ, can I bring you in? Are you okay to be brought in? No? Oh, thumbs down. Thumbs down for PJ. A little tired. He walked from Fishtown to Broad Street, folks. What else do we have here? Somehow forgot Bryce was with the Nationals because of this postseason. Alyssa, what's up, Alyssa? We've embraced him fully as a Philly and ignore any past teams because they were irrelevant. Alyssa, I see no lies. Alyssa, give that man a key to the city. Sean Gillespie, Bryce is now a native Philadelphia resident. Sean Gillespie beat the Braves, still in awe. I still can't believe it. John Cheeseborough, it was supposed to be the year they just made the playoffs. Paul Keene, what's up? Man, I can't believe the Giants won again. Meanwhile, in the NFL, yes, the Giants won again. Greg MC, in the league? What did I miss? Just about the best in the league, Greg MC. Thank you. John Smoltz is top class in color commentary. He is. I give him all the credit. John Smoltz, top. Paul Keene, good morning. Oh, Mopar. Harper is the most clutch hitter in a long time. I'll tell you, him and Harper and Hoskins have been money this postseason. And if you guys remember, I was talking after game 2, Rhys Hoskins was doing those Odubel Herrera bat flips where he would fly out and like he'd make contact and it's right-handed, so left-handed, right-handed hitter. So right-handed hitter, he'd make contact and he'd like throw the bat away on his like follow through basically swing. And I'm like, that's like Odubel, what the hell is he doing? And you could tell he was frustrated because he felt like he was just missing pitches. Then he comes out with the two-run homer game, and then comes out with another 2-run homer to kick things off for the Phillies the game scoring yesterday. You could tell he felt like he was just missing those pitches. Mopar, Phils are going to Houston to punch them in the face Friday. Love it. Jim Grassmeter, wow, the champagne story is true. I still have champagne in my hair. That's amazing. Okay. Paul Keene, man, I can't believe the Giants won again. Really goes to show Judge was useless. What am I missing here? Good coaching makes all the difference. Also, I think the Eagles would have beaten the Cowboys with Dak. He wasn't good. First game back. Mopar, Farzy live from the Mo Bar would be epic. Do you have a home bar? I've thought about that, just doing like tours of people's man caves essentially and doing a show from their bar. Dan Schwartz, I tweeted you yesterday, Mark, mentioning the first people to congratulate the Phillies making the playoffs. It was the Houston Astros on their scoreboard right after we beat them. Will they regret it? I did not know that, Dan. I saw your tweet. I think I liked it. If I didn't like it, I'm sorry. A little all over the place last night. Sean Gillespie, mutant in the green coat, just like Bigfoot in the woods. That's great. Jim Grassmeter, yes, Farzy show at the Mo Bar. First off, great name for your man cave, Mo Bar. Love it already. That's the chat check, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Let's get into our morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Yes, the Phillies are going to the World Series. That's amazing. I imagine they're going to have Aaron Nola on the hill to start things off on Friday. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, no, they'll probably Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler will start that. What am I saying? It'll be enough days off. I keep on forgetting that they're not playing today. They're playing Friday. Or they're not playing in 2 days. They're playing Friday. So, yeah, you'll probably have Zach Wheeler on the bump for game 1, and he'll sit in the rotation accordingly. Pretty amazing. Just some quick stats I wanted to give you guys real quick on this matchup. As you would assume, the Phillies and the Houston Astros are kind of they're two very different teams in terms of where their bread is buttered. The Phillies basically out-hit them. The Phillies outscore them. But one thing the Phillies certainly don't do is pitch better than them. The Houston Astros had a 2.90 team ERA. Phillies batting average was 5 points higher. Their on-base percentage is right around the same. They're 2 points lower. Scoring runs, though, the Phillies scored 10 more runs than they did all year. Very similar ball clubs. The Houston Astros hit 9 more homers than them throughout the season. Phillies walked more, which is nice to see. But the Houston Astros 2.90 ERA is pretty good. So those are some numbers just to go by in that series. I'll give you a couple more in a second. Everybody in the NFC East that mattered. The Giants won again. Thanks a lot, Doug Peterson. Giants won again, beating Doug Peterson's Jacksonville Jaguars, and Dak Prescott came back, yesterday in his first game in 5 weeks. And the Dallas Cowboys won yesterday as well. So everything pretty much looks the same, except you got other 6-win teams in the NFC East. Hopefully the Eagles get right back on track after their bye week, take care of business against the Steelers. I got that game in the early goings, by the way, as a rout, an absolute rout as far as I'm concerned. So that's what I see the Eagles coming back with authority after the bye week. So that's what I got for you right there. Did want to give you guys this stat. The Houston Astros, 2.90 ERA. So the LA Dodgers had a 2.80 ERA. That's the best in the majors. This is during the regular season. The Houston Astros during the postseason have a 2.90 ERA, which is the second best in Major League Baseball. As far as the postseason goes, That ERA went from 290, to 157. A 1.57 ERA. The only team with a lower postseason ERA this season has been the Tampa Bay Rays, obviously. They had a 1.23 ERA, but they go. They go. So that's where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Eagles back at it, 1 o'clock kickoff this weekend. Sixers we'll get into a little bit more tomorrow, especially PJ Tucker's comments about the team. So we'll get into that. Basically calling everybody out, saying, yeah, hey, guess what? Fun fact, we're not good enough to show up and win. We got to play hard. We got to fight for everything. Teams are big gunning for us. Let's go. We'll get more into that tomorrow, but I want to close with this. Enjoy. I know it's going to seem like it's a long time, but when they get at it Friday, I know everyone in Philly is going to be ready for that game. Everyone's going to be waiting with great anticipation. Everyone gets it. Take this time to cherish this. Because if I learned anything from the Phillies winning in 08, like, first off, I waited my whole life for that. To that point, I was 26, 27 years old, however old I was. And I had cherished every second of that. But, man, when they went back in 09, it was like, oh, my God. Like, that was so different because you had a young core. This team, it feels like, in a way, and I'm not arguing this, but you went out and you got Bryce Harper. You went out and you got Kyle Schwarber. You went out and you got Nick Castellanos. You got guys that are set to be major players for a long time in this city. On that team in 07, 08, 09, you had a lot of homegrown talent be the cornerstones of that team with Ryan Howard and Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins and Cole Hamels, a lot of homegrown talent. Shane Victorino was a Rule 5 guy, but more or less I'll count that as a guy that came up really and made a name for himself at the major league level here in Philadelphia. Rule 5, fine, but he became known in this city, in this organization, I mean. So it felt like you had a lot of homegrown guys. This is very different in that you went out, you spent money, you went over the luxury tax. A homegrown guy like Aaron Nola has certainly helped you. A homegrown guy like Ranger Suarez has certainly helped you. Rhys Hoskins has certainly helped you. Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, that certainly helps. But the star of the show is a guy named Bryce Harper, who you went out and got. Another star of the show, Kyle Schwarber, with some mammoth home runs in this series. It feels a lot different. But it still feels like, which is the most important thing, success with this team is sustainable. With the Phillies in 07 and the Phillies in 08, it felt like you were just on the precipice of something amazing. This feels very similar to that. Maybe not with the young talent as much as you had on that team, but man, it does feel like you can keep this team playing together in their prime for a long time. But in the meantime, before they go and prove that, which will be proven hopefully over the next couple of years, enjoy every second of this till Friday. Go back and watch Rhys Hoskins' home run, that 2-run home run. Go back and watch Bryce Harper's 2-run home run. Go back and watch Kyle Schwarber's 488-foot home run in San Diego. Go back and watch it all. Revel in it. Bask in it throughout this week. Listen to a clip or two from Bryce Harper talking about the fans. Listen to Alec Boehm saying he freaking loves this place. Listen to it all because no tell what's going to happen in that Houston Astros series. I look at the Phillies team and just see a team that can't be beat right now. Like the Astros are the better team. The Astros have more experience. They got the better pitching, but that doesn't mean the Phillies can't hang at least and be in it. Jim Valvano at college level used to say this. My dad always loved saying this too, and I think about it a lot. My dad would say this when he was my coach as a kid. He'd just say, hey, be at the end of the game, just be in a position where you can win it. Because then sometimes you just depend on bounces. Yeah, you got to make your own luck. You got to capitalize on your own opportunities. And what have the Phillies done so far? They've made their own luck. They've capitalized on their opportunities. Now they got the greatest opportunity possible. Facing the Houston Astros for the World Series. 4 wins. 4 more wins. Started at 13. It's dwindled down to 4. Didn't think we'd get that far, but here we are. Philly, enjoy it. Bask in it. Bask in it for every second. I have more Phillies conversation tomorrow. Working on booking a very special guest. So hopefully I can provide that for you guys this week, at least. Not going to make any promises just yet. But working on a special guest for you guys. A name you know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is the Farzy Show, presented by my man Steven Singer. Steven Singer Jewelers. Jim Hyder produced the program, or as he likes to be called, the mutant in the green on the median. Jim Hyder produced the program. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. Phillies are in the World Series. It all starts Friday. Guess what makes that that silly old ant? Guess what makes that silly old ant think he can lift a rubber tree plant? I don't know, but he's got high hopes. Cheers, everybody. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.